hard to see from the moment we arrive.
Hey, welcome back to the Happy Place Diaries and this edition of Coffee Talk. Hey, I'm flying solo this morning. My lovely bride Teresa is out on a big event called the Portland Coast. So it's just me and the pups while we wait for her to get down here to the coast. Hey, if this is your first time visiting us, go ahead and click that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up if you like the video. And if you don't, well, then just keep that to yourself. There's no need to spread negativity around. On a serious note, and I'm not too proud to beg, we are holding at 125 subscribers, and it feels like we've been doing this for a long time. So, you know, share it with a friend. Let folks know. I got two dogs that are wrestling behind me. Hey, stop. They're restless in the morning. But again, on a serious note, you know, ain't too proud to beg, but we really want to see that subscriber count go up. Really want to see those subscriber numbers bump up a little bit. We've been doing this essentially since November, so moving a little slower than we thought it was going to be. Hopefully it's not the content, and hopefully it's not this ugly mug, but you know, if you want to, share. Okay, let's get to the question. So the question this time is from Sandra B. I got a feeling that I know who you are. Not quite sure, though. Oh, God, don't hit that. We have a guy moving in next door, and I think he just hit a tree. Came real close to it anyway. Here, I'll show you what's going on. This guy right here in the J-Flight almost hit that tree right there. Backing in. All right, well, enough of that. Let's get to our question. All right, well, Sandra B says that I have a question for your next coffee talk. I watched and enjoyed most of your big trip. I remember you were in Kansas City, I believe with the family, and a big storm blew in. And if you haven't seen our big trip, especially the Kansas episode, that was pretty incredible, where we got into a really big storm. And I'm sorry, but this guy's fascinating me over here. Oh, dude, I think you just... Stop. All right. Let's see. You videotaped the storm. I kept thinking, thank God you had a house to go into and ride out the storm and not be in the camper. So my question is, how do you monitor the weather while traveling? And what do you do if weather gets bad and you're in the camper? Do the parks, campgrounds have a safe place for people to go? And, okay, so there's... You just hit the picnic table. Come on, dude. Looks like a brand new camper, too. All right, let's get to the question. I apologize, folks. See, this is good content right here. Maybe I just turned the channel into me watching people park. We'll see. Okay, well, part one of that question was... we had a place to go to ride out the storm. Yeah, we were at my brother-in-law's house, and we did have the trailer backed up right up to the house. And what had happened was my brother-in-law shot me a text and said, hey, there's a big storm coming. You need to get ready. I didn't know what that meant. We don't live in the Midwest, and getting ready for a storm in Oregon basically means go inside, because we don't get, tornadoes and lightning and all that kind of stuff like they get in the Midwest. So totally unprepared for what he was talking about, but essentially all we did was we pulled the slide out in, and we hooked the truck back up to the trailer. And the idea there was to give it a little bit more stability. Once we got the truck hooked up, we dropped the stabilizers back down, and we unplugged from the power just in case there was going to be a surge of some sort, which never did happen. But actually, we wouldn't know because we were completely unplugged. So far as the high winds go, the way that we were parked, we were pretty much sheltered away from the winds. The winds came right up over the back of the trailer, went right across the top of the trailer, and nothing was hurt. We didn't have our antenna up or any of that. So we did leave our vents open so that air would kind of flow through. And other than that, we really didn't do much other than video the storm. So we had somewhere to go, in that we were at my brother-in-law's house. So how do we monitor the weather when we travel? Well, we use a couple apps. And number one is the weather app that comes with every phone. And we really use it. It's pretty accurate. Again, the Midwest, their weathermen must go to a better school than our weathermen do in Oregon, because in Oregon, basically they guess. They look outside. If it's cloudy, it's going to rain. If the trees are blowing, it's windy. In the Midwest, they tell you in 3 minutes you're going to get hit with a storm, and you can set your watch by it. In 3 minutes, there's a storm. Come here, bub. Come here. Chunk wants to get into the act. They really do. They have it down to an absolute science. And I guess weather is a science. So we use the weather app on our phones, and we also use an app called My Radar. And it's this app right here. Anyway, My Radar will show you accurate weather patterns that are coming through. And it's still loading. I'm out at the coast, so it's got to acquire some GPS. But we use this app is extremely accurate, and it shows, a weather storm coming through, and it's in real time. So you can watch the storm, whether it's blowing east, west, north, south, and that's how we kind of know. Now, we use this to extreme accuracy when we were on our way through Wisconsin, and there was a major storm coming through, and the rain was so thick we actually had to pull over and get out of the rain. And then we pulled up this app, and it's still loading. We pulled up the app so that we could watch the storm, and it showed the projection of the storm passing us, and it said that the storm will be over and gone in 30 minutes. So we just sat there for 30 minutes and rode out the storm. We were in the trailer, and we didn't have to worry about really high winds, but we did have severe rain. So we just brought the dogs in. We had some thunder, and brought the dogs into the trailer. We sat here and had lunch, and then we got back in the truck and kept driving. So that's what we use for monitoring the weather. So let me get to the next part of the question. So we monitor using the weather app and the My Radar app, and I'll drop something in about My Radar in here. Okay, what do you do if the weather gets bad and you're in the camper? We ride it out. We have not experienced weather that was very severe while we were in the camper. We have been in the camper when we had high winds up to about 50 miles an hour. And all we do, or all we have done, is pull the slide out in. A couple reasons. And it may or may not be true, or it may not be necessary. Leave a comment if you know better than I do. But there's two reasons that I pull in our slide out. Number one, you bring everything in tight. It gives it a little bit more stability. I'm not heavy on one side or the other. And I keep my stabilizers down, especially in the heavy wind. Make sure that the awnings are in. And we have a slide topper awning on top of the slide out. And I really don't want it bouncing and ripping away from the side of the trailer. So that's the other reason that we pull in the slide out. And then beyond that, like I said, up in the Northwest, we don't really get the electric storms. So I haven't really felt the need to unplug. And we do have a surge protector that we use religiously from our shoreline to the electric box. So if there is a problem, that's supposed to keep it from reaching the trailer and blowing our electric systems out. But like I said, we've only had to unplug once, and that was in Kansas City. And again, we've been in some severe rain. We've been in high winds, but really we haven't been in big weather that would require us to evacuate. We were on the way to Kansas City, and there were severe storms just to our south. And that's basically what we did. We just pulled things in and watched the weather. It blew right over. It actually blew around us. And then again in south of Chicago, we had some severe weather. And we really didn't do anything extra there. We just kind of battened things down and rode the storm out that night. And then, do parks and campgrounds have a safe place for people to go? And we've talked to some people, especially when we were in the Midwest, about what do we do if there's a tornado or, severe weather. And the general answer is go to the bathrooms or go to the shower houses. We're at the Oregon coast right now, and this is a tsunami area. And really all they tell you is to follow the tsunami. Once the tsunami warning hits, leave your trailer, get in your truck, and go to high ground. And that's pretty much it. The way I see it is we're not going to make it out of here. Because if this campground is full right now, and there's 6 loops, and it's absolutely full, we're just going to have to hope for the best. I guess that's the plan. Other than that, we're going to head toward Fort Clatsop, which is a little higher ground and it's inland. Let's see. But the shower houses, I talked to the ranger, and at most parks, basically they just tell you in the event of severe lightning or whatever, duck into the shower houses. And the park that we're at right now, I could see the shower house. It's just off my shoulder, right out of my back window here. So if something really severe happened, I suppose we'd take the puppies and go sit in the bathroom over there. But in general, trailers are meant to be outside, so we'll just ride it out. If it's just rain or high winds, we'll just ride it out and just pull things in, tie down what we can, and go from there. That's a great question though, and we're planners, so I think about this kind of stuff. What are we going to do if? And really, we haven't run into situations that required us, other than that time in Kansas City, and I did learn, about electric storms there. And that was an amazing electric storm. Okay, so once again, thanks for that great question. Keep them up, and we really love answering them. Hey, again, if you're new to the channel and you like what you saw, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell notification. That way you know when the next video is coming out or when it comes out. And come along this journey with us. We really enjoy having you with us. Again, like I said at the beginning, I am not too proud to beg, and we really want to bump that subscription number up. And we're not doing this for the money. We're not doing it for the fame. We're doing it to build community and have a great time doing it. I mean, we're going to be out here camping anyway, so, come along with us and hit that subscribe button. Hey, thanks, and we'll see you in the next one.